Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world, and we're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War featuring Darthmod and the 40 unit save version. The last episode we decided to hold off and end the episode before we started a new turn just in case some activity happened, so let's just do that and find out if anything would have happened had I done the new turn. Alright, well it looks like there was going to be some activity on the next turn, so it's a good thing we did end the episode last time. What remained of the Portuguese fleet down here, along with that one captured fleet of mine, they're going to go against the remaining vessels that I have down here. We are not definitely strong enough to take them on, although they do have two weakened ships here and a weakened fleet. I also have a weakened 6 rate, and the power meter's really in their favor. So I think we're just going to try to outrun them, and then we'll end up probably having to auto-resolve, or if I change my mind in the few seconds that takes, maybe we'll do some battle. Let's find out. Yeah, our only hope on this one is to fight our way out of it. I don't like the odds. We're just going to take the hurt and move on. We had 2 surviving ships, but we are trapped, and they did capture 1 out of those, and they lost nothing. So yeah, we did not hold up too well. The 2 ships of mine that remain are going to sink because we are ran and we're cornered. Alright, some metalled roads have been finished in France. We have a successful mission in here, although I don't think we can still see the exact quantities they have, so we'll have to try and remember to move out and move back in, see if we can get a good sense on if they're repairing their wounded units or not. We have a new port that emerged. Where is that in New Spain? Let's go take a look. Ooh. So that's going to be the second one over here. So if we already have one that's a port, we don't necessarily need another port. We could go with just straight fishery to help with the growth, and I think that's just what we'll do. We'll just do that right now and get that done. And a new nation arises, the Iroquois Confederacy. Let's go take a look there. Apparently they have taken over where the British were. So the British abandoned the city, and there was still some Iroquois forces out there, or the unrest caused a revolt to happen, and who knows, because this was really off camera. This caught me by surprise until I saw the notice, a new nation arises. Before we get into that too much, and a new port, we got a good income that turn, but there were a couple weird things, or I should say not weird, but interesting things to keep an eye on. We got beat up, as you know, down in the Straits of Madagascar. We're going to have to rebuild some fleets to send down there to take them on. But we did have some movement against another enemy of ours, and that is this strong Venice fleet. Has an army on it too, not the most amazing strong army per se, because there's a lot of militia there, but they have an army afloat that we're not going to be able to knock out at sea, not with that kind of not with that kind of navy escorting it along the way. So that's something to keep an eye on, see where they might decide to land. Okay, well the first thing I did see that's tempting, and at least I can get small payback on the Portuguese since they took out my fleet in the Straits of Madagascar, and that is this situation right here. We're going to go after this little remnant army. We extremely outnumber this army, and this is one where I'm just going to auto-resolve. Victory! And we took him out. In the meantime, we now have funds. That's the good news. So let's choose everybody, get everybody healed, and we still have over 9,000 left. We gained a trait. I have the basic understanding on the arts of war, so I guess that means our general has gained a star in the process. And we're going to move back to this bridge so we can then, in the meantime, get eventually down to Lisbon and try a battle down there. We got a couple of units still sitting in the capital, and I'm thinking, yes, it's definitely looking like I can afford to take these 2 units out now, and I'll see if I can't catch them back up to the army. No, I don't see any immediate threats at the moment with myself moving these out, so we can get pretty close to where we need to be. And just as a double check to make sure I'm good at reading the meters, yes, we're still doing fine, no unrest. And then pretty soon we should be able to start taxing to make some money from all this effort. And it's going to feel good getting Portugal out of the way. I have a feeling the other thorn in my side is going to become Venice, but Portugal's been, for not the strongest nation in the world, been a thorn in our sides, hasn't it now? Another thing we're going to do is we're going to take our ships here and see about getting them healed. We do not want to let our 4th rates slowly wear down to where they become a target. And I think it's important to build up this other fleet down here in Spain at the same time, now that we got the funds. This auto-resolve disaster of a fleet. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to move them if I want to get them repaired, because this port hasn't been repaired. I should have enough funds to do both. So first of all, let's go in, construct, and repair the port. And just so we don't have to wait another turn while it repairs, we'll take the Navy to yet another port of ours and repair it there. In fact, I will manually make sure we go around the Venice Navy to get up to one of our ports up here. Now, I could see them being a thorn in my side, Venice landing here and try to make a move on Madrid, but that would mean maybe pulling back and postponing my final assault on Portugal. We'll just have to see what the AI has in mind. There's a lot of ways it could go. And then the Navy down here, we should be able to repair. Yes, it wasn't too terribly expensive. And do we have anything we can do? Yeah, we can sit here, but there's not enough forces in our army down here to be able to make a move there. In the meantime, we are going to add, since we lost a big significant chunk of our Navy, we're going to see if we can afford some more 4th rates. And that leaves us just a tiny bit more left to play with. And I think, is the Americas where we have some depleted armies? I think that's a place we need to heal up. Now with the Iroquois back in the game, we're no longer at war with them. Hopefully they don't have too much of a short-term memory and they can remember what it costs them to go to war with us. So hopefully they'll just hang tight. Army, let's see how many we can get repaired. Not the whole thing, I'm sure. Yeah, over 5,000 to get repaired. We'll repair what we can to get started. Alright, I'm going to look around the map and see what else it is we have to deal with, and I'll be right back with anything I find. Alright, one thing I missed is this rapid deployment force in India, or one thing I forgot about. So we're just going to come up here, see if we can do a little hit and run like we always do, demand surrender. And we, like the Portuguese are a thorn in our side, we are becoming a thorn in the side of the Mughal Empire. In fact, we can come right over here. Well, let's, no, we can't even repair, so let's just come right over here. And shall we do battle with one of their units just because we can? Why not? Do a little auto-resolve. And we lost a lot. Auto-resolve is just horrid in this game, isn't it? Look how many men we lost. But we did knock them out. And we'll have to hold off on any repair there.
What can I for you do?
In the meantime, hopefully our priest, who now has Protestantism up to 46% here, does not lose his zeal because it's once again our province temporarily. And they have changed back our church school here to one of their and so we're going to tear that down to help our Protestant minister preach. Alright, I missed a little ship that had come here for repair, so we got to get that back over here. Not that we can repair it this turn, but we can at least get it to port. And of course I missed another army that's very important to me, and that is this one here to get repaired so we can make a move against Strasbourg. I don't like having them right in our midst, especially if they decide to move out towards Flanders or Paris itself. Not feeling too comfortable about that. So we'll try to remember to repair our army the rest of the way down here in Stuttgart when we have a chance next time. We do have an election that'll come up during this next turn, so we'll have to pay attention to that, see if the current cabinet comes in or if we got to play the political mix and match game coming up after this next turn. Income should be solid barring any trade interruptions. So with that in mind, I think we're ready to move on to the next turn. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now, wasn't he headed down? Yeah, so we might as well just help him down. He would have moved there automatically, but we'll get him on the road so we don't forget about it. And we're ready for the next turn, so let's make it happen. We'll see you on the other side. All right, we've researched utilitarianism, so we're going to be able to build the next level of school. We gained in what, we almost have 16,000, so a little less than they predicted, but not bad. Workers are on strike. Well, they can go ahead and strike because he's about to come back down and retake the province yet again. So in the meantime, we're just going to lay waste to what we can down here and say, go ahead and take it. Oh, actually, we cannot lay waste to it unless I do it this way, because we own it, so I can't just move through and lay waste to it. Here I'm pretending like it's an enemy territory. All I got to do is move my army in there. So anyway, let's take a look at what else has happened. Your agent was successful. In fact, before I forget, because like last time, I meant to move him out and do this and try to infiltrate again. Oh, but he was detected this time. But he is still alive. That's good news. And we have a new cabinet, I think. Yeah, the current government is stepping down after 2 auspicious terms in office to make way for a new cabinet. So we're going to definitely got to get in there and play the cabinet shuffle. And we'll go check out the rest of those soon enough. Army is not strong. Justice is not strong. India is not strong. Let's take a look at the strong positions just in case there's possibly a better spot for them. This guy will improve in justice. I wonder if any of the other guys would be better out of justice. Sometimes that's the case. He would do a little better in the army, so let's switch him over to the army. That already improves that. The Jughead is really not much, but we're going to move the head of state over here because he will be a big boost to the Justice Department. Let's see what our India guy looks like. He's got the old how dry I am guy in here. -1 to management, +1 to treasury, but our treasury current minister is very strong, and he also balances it out with an agrarian. So I'm kind of feeling like this is about as good as it's going to get at the moment. And what we will do is we'll see if we can't switch out our minister in India first. And we get nothing great in return. A big blank slate. Young guy with no experience, basically. So that's it for this turn. At least we're okay in some of the key areas. Justice and Treasury are really in good shape. Happy about that. Let's just make sure Americas and Navy might not be better suited somewhere else. Oh, he's just going to be good no matter where he goes. And what about this guy? Yeah, don't put him in treasury, in other words. And he's going to be about the same no matter where we put him. So I'm fine where they are as opposed to these other two. These other two will just turn by turn remember to get them upgraded. We have some new ancillaries, yes, so we know about the wine guy. Oh, there's another one? Well, we've only found one guy that's liking the wine, dipping into the wine. We have a new national leader, yes, we saw that. In fact, that's the one thing I didn't do is take a closer look at the leader. Yeah, the leader here, the president, is just average, so at least he's not a disaster. So even though apparently our spy didn't have a good mission, he's gained some experience, so there you go. +1 subterfuge for infiltration missions. Do we get it? Did we get a peek at the army? Oh, we even by making the attempt, we got a peek at the army. It doesn't look like they're doing a lot of recruiting to replenish their, as the AI often does not. They build new units very well, but they do not repair old units very well. And we have a new town that has emerged in Cuba. We'll take a quick peek at that. Let's see what our options are down here. In fact, let's take a quick look at Cuba itself. Very high in Catholicism, a little animism. So maybe we'll just do the old little church school down here to start converting for us. We got enough schools at the moment. And there we go. Now the first thing I have to do, so I do not forget this time, isn't it nice to know I can remember sometimes, we have an army to repair and replenish some more. So let's do that. Another 3,359 to get them full strength. At full strength, I think we're still actually outnumbered here too. So it's still going to be a challenging battle, but we'll give it a shot. We will give it a shot. The other thing I want to do here is in Madrid, I want to actually get rid of those walls. Anywhere I can. I just prefer open field battles. Anywhere I can. I really do try to get rid of those walls. And what I'll probably do is come up really close. Well, actually, I can siege for a turn, and we should still be replenished as the sieger. And if they want to come out, I'm fine with that too. So let's at least close in and get Lisbon siege. And we're going to have a slight edge. Whoa, look at all those mortars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus an artillery piece. So they are stocking up for our attack. Let's see if they want to surrender, which they won't. We're going to maintain our siege at least another turn to get ourselves back to full strength. And we may have a good little battle after that. And one thing, just as a note, during that turn, Venice sailed right through the Straits of Gibraltar and over towards the Americas. So we do have a rapid defense force over there. Not maybe quite strong enough for their army they're sending over. We'll see. Maybe I can recruit a couple more units just to help out. And while I'm peeking over here, let's get our missionary in here to start the conversion process here. We do have our navy back. And I'm almost wondering if I should just send this particular navy down to the Straits of Gibraltar. Can they make it? Not quite. Puts me out here susceptible to the Portuguese navy, depending on how far they were able to get. But I think trying to grab some trade nodes with this army that we lost in the Straits of Madagascar, seeing as how the Spanish navy's down there and the Portuguese navy's down there. The good thing, though, is 1, 2, 3. We at least should be an even match with the current Portuguese navy down there. And if they are weakened, hopefully that'll give us the edge. So we'll send this navy down to try and give our own sort of retribution down there. The question will be, will they make it in time before the battle for Lisbon? Because that'll rid the fleet from the Straits of Madagascar also. In that case, if that does happen, we'll just hold temporarily the trade nodes with our 5th rates until we can replace them with less valuable ships. And in the process, we're raiding a trade route. Whose, I'm not sure. Actually, they'll probably tell us. Mughal are trading through this way. It's about the only one that we're really at war with, I think. So we won't gain a lot of funds, but we might as well while we're down there. While I'm thinking about it up here, I'm going to take one school at least and get it up to the classical university level. I won't do any others at the moment. We got more important things to spend on. Okay. In fact, that school, which is Utrecht, let's get over and find out where that's at. And let's get them. Make sure that's, yeah, that's what we're gonna research at the moment. Once the school's built, if we remember and I don't forget, we will probably reassign the training, because this isn't the most important right at the moment. And now that we have our repaired fourth rates here, we're going to put it out to blockade our zone here so nobody knocks off our ports. And then when we get a couple more fourth rates, boy, we're going to be getting a nice little navy going. And they haven't made the move yet on the city here. But we're gonna crash and burn this settlement here until we get to the point where we're gonna be able to take it over and hold it. In fact, we're gonna just crash and burn the port, everything, until we're able to come back and take it over for good. We do have a few funds to repair the ships here, so we can send them back to the East Indies. Or should Lisbon fall sooner than or by next turn when they're repaired, we can always send them to the Straits of Madagascar to help hold port trade nodes over there. And speaking of ships to be repaired, we have some more over here. In fact, when I just scanned over here, I have a repaired Navy ship over here, a repaired galleon we can already send back to the coast of Brazil. And let's take a quick look at our rapid response force. Yes, we got the... I ideally would love to keep my army up in the north near the Iroquois in New York that I will eventually have to take over, and just use this army down here. And they're on board. Maybe what I need to do is get them off board. So, oh, here I can take a look at who we got. Yeah, it's a decent sized force. Not bad. Is it only the one artillery piece, though? Yeah, I think that's something I can look at recruiting. Whoops. Right here. If I can click on the right spot. And we're going to gain another 12-pounder. And we might as well add a dragoon in there. Now that leaves me a little over 3,000 to spend on upgrades, and we'll take a look and see where I want to do that. How about a peek at the ministers? Did we do the... Yeah, we did the ministers this turn already, but trade-wise, what are... Spices are very valuable. In fact, ivory has sunk a little bit for a change. Cotton would be good. Tea would be good. And tobacco's not that bad either at the moment. So we'll spend our funds right here to upgrade our tobacco plantation. And we'll call that a turn. Next turn now, we should start seeing some action potentials. We're going to be able to probably now take our move against Strasbourg, because we should be healed up by then or close to it. At least move over to siege. And then down in Lisbon, we already are sieging. We should be full strength after this turn, and we can start our assault. Decide if we want to hit the walls or starve them out. It's a 5 turn to surrender, so I usually don't have the patience to wait that long. Walls be damned. We may make our move over here. We'll see. Although that's a lot of freaking mortars. That is for sure. Artillery piece wise, we do have a couple at least. So yeah, we'll probably take a chance on that one. So one final look around and then we'll take our next turn. Okay, one thing I noticed is down here in India, I don't need to help them by having it revolt before they even get there and lose it somehow because of that. So what I will do is exempt this region from tax just to keep them, well, not happy, but okay-ish. All right, we're ready for our next turn, so we'll see you on the other side. All right, we have another technological advance. Let's go take a look. In a moment, we have a new local fishery in New Spain that we built. That was a quick build. And let's go take care of the research first. So we finished the basic steam pump. So yeah, the blast furnace I think makes the next amount of sense. This one lowers recruitment costs for artillery, and this one on the blast furnace generates income. Well, this I actually actually this one also then lets us get up to the next level of ironworking building. So yeah, we will stick with this one. I was liking the idea of cheaper artillery, but we're okay. Oh, we got another one that'll be researching next turn too, so very good. Our research is progressing well now. We got the dragoons down in the Americas. Our 2 new 4th rates are there. And speaking of vessels, we did see something happen. Let me pop over to the Americas. We now know where exactly, here we are, we know where the Venice Navy has arrived. Apparently they did not have enough movement to offload at this point yet. So I'm thinking what we need to do, even though I don't have another artillery piece built yet, we're still recruiting it down here. I'm thinking what we'll do is we will take our army with the new dragoon that we just recruited and get the dragoon over with the rest, and we will take our little old fleet. Although let's take a look. Can I now? He's got a zone of control there, so I may not want to move here yet because he could intercept. The other option is offload ahead of him, but I can't even get to this island without moving through his zone of control. So we're gonna have to wait, and if he does decide to land, then we're gonna have to deal with that navy, and that's a tough navy compared to what I have over here with what, my 4 ships. So there's no way I'm gonna be able to run that blockade, so we're gonna have to be careful with how we react over here. Oh, we have a little history going on. Amish to America. Following extensive persecution in their native lands for their practices of adult baptism and opposition to the union of church and state, the Amish have been granted safe haven in America by prominent Quaker William Penn. A radical sect of Mennonites from Switzerland and the Palatinate, the Amish are regularly martyred there by an intolerant opposition, oft by tying them in sacks and throwing them into rivers to drown. As their very existence is under threat, the Amish are moving to Pennsylvania en masse at the invite of William Penn, as part of his holy experiment in religious tolerance. And in my time in southwestern Pennsylvania and in my time in western Kentucky, lived Amish were plentiful and very common to see, their horse and buggies. In fact, we had, in one of the places I worked, we had horse hitches so they could tie up their buggies when they came in to the place of business. So it was kind of cool. And we have a fleet arriving. This one, oh, looks like the coast of Brazil, so we can reinforce one of our trade nodes here. As a matter of fact, let's see if we have any more ships that need repair over here. That one does, barely. Not a lot of repair, but we might as well get it repaired. And we'll take over the node there. Alright, let's refocus. Now that we've gotten through what happened on the turn, we now can start making some reactions of our own here. And I'm wondering if I should take a fleet, but even a fleet of mostly 4th rate, 6 4th rates and 1 5th rate is going to be outnumbered by that Venice fleet potentially. I'm thinking maybe we take our 4th rates minus the 5th rate. The 5th rate will leave right here to do that guarding the ports kind of zone of control thing, so no Navy can send a single ship over here again. And we'll take our 4th rates, join up with the newly built ones. And we're going to keep them moving. Right around the Straits of Gibraltar. Well, barely through the Straits of Gibraltar. And I'm thinking of blockading a Venice port, one might say, and see if we can't entice that Navy to come back to us. And in the meantime, I'm going to build yet a couple more 4th rates. They're going to send their Navy away. We're going to give them a little hurt of our own. And it is now time to look at the land battles that have been promised. And this is one of them right here. Alright, we're going to do this assault here. We're going to make this kind of the ending movement probably for this episode. I'm guessing it'll take that long. We'll see. We'll look at the time when we're done. Lisbon, time for you to fall. Time for the ultimate payback to the Portuguese Empire. Their general is in one of their mortars. Boy, that's just a lot of mortars. Wow. Can you imagine the advance we're going to have to take through all that fire? They have 2 Irish brigades, which are decent. They have 4, so they have 6 very nice line infantry units, and then a couple militia and a regiment of horse. So we're going to have to move quickly to knock out those mortars. But I'll see y'all on the battlefield. Alright, so the fun of this particular battle is going to be a different kind of fort. So we're going to have to dust off the old memory banks here and try to figure out and remember the best way to advance on this kind of a fort. Definitely bigger, stronger walls. I remember it can be tough if you take one of these star points and try to cross this dang little old bridge if it gets clogged up. So there are some challenges to this version, but at the same time, he doesn't have a particularly large amount of units per se. And it gives me a lot of walls potentially to climb up and then come in at him from the walls to take on those mortars too. Well, we'll see. We shall see. I'll be right back when we figure out, or when I decide how I want to set up for this one. Alright, we're back. I decided to take the hillside in this corner. Going against the Star Fort over here, we'll try to get a couple different wall breaches in on this side to hopefully force them off the walls. And then that'll allow us both to work against the breaches with this half of the line infantry. The other half of the or other portion of the line infantry will be able to move and climb hopefully these walls. And then I have more units over here to be able to come against this side of the fort. And hopefully that's our advantage, because we do outnumber them and they can only cover so many of the walls, and we'll get in before we get decimated and bombarded to death by those mortars. I chose the hill in this far corner as opposed to this hill, which would get more range into the fort, but at least our current setup covers about a third of the fort into the interior. And as we know, the artillery does not do well asking it to shoot over the walls and maintain those shots against enemy mortars. So we'll just concentrate on the walls with them and then try to take out the mortars with our advancing units and hopefully just overwhelm them. We shall see. We shall see. All right, let's open our bombardment. We'll focus on this wall first. Not manning the walls heavily on this side to begin with. And we are taking bombardments from the walls, so let's go find out where we're taking the hits from their units up front, the cannon fire. We'll find out if it is the mortars or the cannon fire from the walls that's hitting us. It looks like it's probably the cannon fire from the walls, but we are now the artillery on the inside. So the mortars are silent at the moment. We're just getting artillery from the wall-mounted artillery, and even the center artillery is firing. So if our damages end up being too extreme so far, of the units that showed they were hit, I'm not seeing a lot of casualties yet. So as long as that continues to be the case, and we're taking a few there. But it's not extreme at this distance, so we're going to maintain for the moment. Until I see some numbers start going down, I'll be keeping tabs. Trust me, I will. Wall 33% weakened. We're almost 3/4 of the way through the wall now. Unfortunately, they have not manned this wall, so we can't get any extra casualties that way. But once we have our single first breach, I probably will commence moving all the armies forward, just because we are taking damage at a distance, although it's not super great. We're losing, you know, we're down, well, other than the pikemen, we're down a little more. Most units are down no more than 10 soldiers at the moment out of 300. One more volley, the walls will be coming down, and we will get moving. I'll be curious to see once we're through if it draws enemies off the wall. And there it goes. Alright, let's bring these 4 units forward to start addressing the breach. And I am seeing units coming off the walls on this side. We'll have to see if the same result happens on the other side. Yes, it does. So it's time to bring these guys forward post-haste. Bring the last 2 regiments up to the point, just so we can divert them whichever way we need to at this point. And let me get the artillery retargeted. Shame on me for not doing that right away. And if we have infantry end up being tied on this breach, I also have my cavalry, which we can also quickly send down the other breach. We'll keep the cavalry in reserve at the moment. A lot of the cannon fire is silence at the moment, but pretty soon we will start moving in range of the mortar, and that sound and silence will change. We won't have a lot of units to take on in the back here by the unit from the advance on this side over here. So hopefully they can advance without too many casualties, and then they'll be able to start addressing the mortars. So far, not a lot of the wall. As soon as I say that, they start moving. But no, so far, not a lot of the wall cannon are being used against my advancing infantry either. Yet. The mortars are now firing as we get closer and closer. Pretty soon they'll all be active. The pikemen are being pounded mercilessly over here on our advance. If they focus on just one unit, I'm kind of happy primarily. Keeping the others at decent strength on their advance, I won't complain. I'm going to start assigning our first walls to go for. Bring them up to the wall. And we're actually going to take the point of this star right here with this unit just in case. And we're going to come around the back side with this last unit. And the pikemen, poor pikemen. They are taking the brunt of it. Why don't we halt their advance, let them be the target. We are getting wall cannon fire now that we've closed in range. Run the rest of the way with these to return fire. And we are going to take this point of the star also. And we're now finally making headway on our second breach. Hopefully to take the pressure off the mortars just bombarding the backside here. Get up these walls. We are able to scale walls pretty confidently, pretty cleanly. The question is, will we have enough forces? Open fire and get up on the wall. Bringing their militia to the backside, it looks like, to help protect their artillery pieces. See if we can't tie up this unit for reinforcements. And this time we start pushing forward. Hand-to-hand battle into the breach. Should have yet another breach, maybe. That just takes care of the point. It doesn't give me a breach all the way in. Bad news. Let's finish this breach. Supposed to be taking the walls here. You're standing around, guys. Our cavalry units was brought up by mistake on my part, but that's fine. Need to bring these guys down from the Star Fort. Go guys, move, 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 move. Actually, we can bring cavalry in now. Hopefully through the Star Fort gate, which we have now taken. Cavalry is entering the building. Fierce cannon fire, they're charging through to be the first, hopefully. Let's take on the artillery pieces. We have some more cavalry up here. Let's bring them through this uncontested gate. The 12-pounders are about to fall. You guys off the wall. Wall, boys, off the wall. Get some more cavalry through the gate. Up against our hand-to-hand troops there. Going against some more mortars. We do have another breach over here that finally the wall went down. I'm going to bring the general's bodyguard up to help out. And the cavalry can't make up their mind to get through the front gate. The enemy general has fallen. Time to start rolling up the mortars. It's had an impact on their units with the general falling. They are starting to waver big time. Let's hold and close hand to hand on the walls. Oof. Charge, guys. Cavalry moving up the line as we take them out. And the pikemen have come all the way around the front door. are in the battle now. They're still standing after all the bombarding they took early on. And we need to just make up our minds to come down in force here, not trickle down, guys. We've been able to hold these forces up here with our own. Entering this regiment in. We just outnumbered them too much. Let's just charge into this side and give them something to think about from another direction. You can hear the silence. Mortars no longer firing. And we've been victorious. Portugal has finally been paid back. Tough little battle. Star forts are awkward, both on the troops and the frame rate, but we have been victorious. All right, none remaining, and that may seal the fate. Nation destroyed. Portugal is gone. The trade node they took in the Straits of Madagascar is now unattended and ready for us to take back. Other than that one node, the Spanish fleet is taken, and we've captured Portugal. Payback secured. We gained +2 morale in battle for our general down here, and +1 command when attacking on land. We also are going to do some repairs real quick, get the order back in shape so we can move this army out. And we are going to destroy the walls. We don't want to have to take on the walls anymore. And then we're going to take our army and see if we can afford to get them all healed up in one fell swoop. We can. We aren't going to be upgrading too much more, but we can get them healed. Alright, so what I'm going to do at this point is I think we're going to call the mission here after this fortunate and successful battle. And then what we're going to probably start off with, or near the beginning of the next episode, is our little move on Strasbourg to pay back Württemberg and see if we can work on them. We have a navy now moving down towards Vienna, so we're starting... until something else happens, we're starting to get back under control on all these surprise declarations of war, and slowly starting to have the ability to pay back our enemies. Venice does worry me over in the Americas, and that's something else we're going to have to keep an eye on, is their force down here right off the island of Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to have to see what they do. Their army is not the end of the world. So even if they did land and take it over, I don't have any problems getting our force being able to take it back. So any advances Venice makes here should only be temporary. We just got to be careful of the Navy, because the Navy is the one thing at the moment with what I have in this arena that I cannot stand up to. That's why in the meantime we're going to be heading over to blockade Venice to hopefully draw them back maybe and keep the Americas uncontested. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the episode this time. Hope you enjoyed that battle. And finally, I feel like we've been trying to pay back Portugal for a long time, and we finally got it done. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in the world. Hey, while you're at it, hit me a like or dislike. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Any areas you feel we should be giving more attention, let me know what you think. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.